Don't you dare try to take this from me. My voice cut through the silence as I stood in Robert Grayson's office doorway, defiance simmering in my chest. The department head glanced up from his desk, his lips curling into a smug grin that twisted my stomach into knots. After 10 years of pouring my heart into Carver Engineering, this was how it ended? My name's Lena Harper, and at 52, I'd spent the last decade carving out a place at one of San Francisco's top engineering firms. 3 restructures, 2 recessions, and endless late nights hunched over blueprints. I'd survived it all. I'd made myself indispensable. Or so I'd thought. Lena, take a seat, Robert said, gesturing to the chair across from him. His tone dripped with that fake sympathy they must drill into managers at some HR seminar. We're bringing in someone younger for your role. After 10 years, it's time to move on. The words hit like a slap. Someone younger. Not smarter, not more skilled, just younger. Fury flared hot in my veins, but I swallowed it down. This wasn't the moment to lose it. I nodded. Cool as ice. Thanks for the heads up, Robert. He blinked, clearly expecting more of a fight. Good. I'm glad you're on board. The transition starts next month. You'll need to train your replacement, Sophie. She's fresh out of Berkeley, graduates next week. I forced a tight smile. Of course. What Robert didn't know, what nobody in the department knew, was that the upcoming board meeting was about to turn everything upside down. Will there be a formal announcement? Asked, keeping my voice steady. Monday's department meeting, he replied, already distracted by his screen, brushing me off. HR will handle your severance details. I stood, smoothing my blazer. Got it. And the quarterly board meeting still next Thursday at 2 p.m. He frowned, puzzled. Yeah, but that's not your concern anymore. Just checking my calendar, I said breezily. Will CEO Morgan be there? His eyes narrowed. Why do you care? Curious, I shrugged, turning to leave. Won't keep you. As I stepped out, a strange calm settled over me. 10 years at Carver had taught me patience, grit, and the art of timing. Robert's smug little victory lap? It'd vanish faster than fog off the bay. I had a secret worth holding close. Even as they shoved me toward the exit, back at my desk, my cubicle neighbor Miguel shot me a look. You okay? His dark eyes brimmed with worry. He'd seen too many shell-shocked colleagues trudge out of Robert's office. Never better, I murmured, keeping my voice low. Just Friday fireworks. I hadn't told a soul about the private meeting with CEO Elena Morgan 3 weeks earlier. It had come out of nowhere. A call to my cell on a Sunday while I was pruning my rooftop basil. Lena, we need to talk about your future at Carver, she'd said. Her usual crisp tone softened. Not at the office. Bayview Cafe, tomorrow, 7 a.m. That morning was etched in my mind. Elena beat me there, claiming a corner table with a killer view of the Golden Gate Bridge wreathed in mist. I'll cut to the chase, she'd said after small talk. The board's shaking up leadership. Your work on the Pinecrest project. Those smart fixes saved us millions and wowed our top clients. I braced for a pink slip, not praise. Thank you, but we want you on the executive board. She'd pressed on. Chief Operations Officer. You get the tech and the people in a way no one else does. The offer floored me, a seat at the table running ops, including Robert's little fiefdom. Why me? I'd asked, still reeling. Because you see what others don't, she'd said simply. And it's time we had someone up top who's been in the trenches. The secrecy was her call. The board vote's a formality, but I need to play the politics. Some members, Robert's allies, might meddle if they knew. So I'd sign the contract with just Elena and legal present. For 3 weeks, I juggled covert dawn strategy sessions, labeled vendor meetings in my calendar, pored over confidential reports, and shaped a new ops framework, all while Robert schemed to ditch me. At my desk, my phone buzzed. Elena. Contracts filed. Announcement set. Thursday still on? I sent back a thumbs-up emoji. For the rest of the day, I drafted transition notes for my replacement, watching Robert strut by smug as ever. Let him savor his win. The real show was days away. The weekend crawled by as I prepped for the wildest week of my career. Monday I rolled in early. Dressed in my usual sharp slacks and blouse, nothing to tip my hand. The 10 a.m. department meeting hummed with Monday buzz, weekend recaps, deadlines, gossip. Robert swept in last, trailing a nervous young woman, Sophie, all of 23, eyes wide with rookie excitement. Good morning, team. Robert clapped his hands. Before we dig in, an announcement. The room stilled. A few colleagues flicked their eyes my way, sensing the axe. Meet Sophie Carter, our new senior design engineer. She'll shadow Lena this month as Lena moves on to new adventures. There it was, the corporate sugarcoat for getting canned. I kept my face blank as pitying glances darted my way. Lena's been here a decade, Robert went on. Like he was doing me a favor by mentioning it. We're grateful for her work. Make Sophie feel at home, folks. Sophie waved shyly. I'm thrilled to join. I've heard amazing things about Carver. The meeting droned on project updates, targets. Robert kept sneaking looks at me, maybe waiting for me to crack. Instead, I chimed in like always, tossing out ideas. Volunteering for a tricky client fix. After, Sophie approached, hesitant. Miss Harper? Robert said you'd show me the ropes. Call me Lena, I said, leading her to my desk. Happy to help. Poor kid. She had no clue she'd stumbled into a chess game. First tip, I said once we sat. Carver's as much about politics as engineering. Her brows shot up. I thought it'd be merit-based. I smirked. It should be. Maybe it will be soon. The next 3 days blurred, handing off projects, documenting workflows, setting Sophie up to succeed without spilling my secret. Wednesday. Elena emailed everyone about a Friday company-wide meeting, exciting changes and leadership news. Robert frowned at it, cornering me later. Any idea what this is? Nope, I lied smoothly. Maybe they filled that VP slot? He bought it and moved on. Thursday loomed, the reckoning. That morning I felt oddly serene. I'd picked a sharp charcoal suit and a teal blouse that popped against my hazel eyes, an executive vibe without screaming it. At the office, my going-away party was in full swing. Grocery store cupcakes and tepid coffee in the break room. Colleagues signed a card with sweet notes about past wins. I played along, gracious as ever. We'll miss you, Miguel said, pulling me into a quick hug. Your fixes were magic. Thanks, I said, sincere. I'll miss this crew. Robert lingered at the edges, antsy. The board meeting was at 2 p.m., and he had his quarterly pitch to prep. Lena, my office after this? He called, not waiting for a yes. 15 minutes later, I faced him across his desk as he shuffled papers. I appreciate how you've handled this, he said, eyes down. Professional, given your tenure. The dig at my age was subtle but there. Appropriate's my style, I replied evenly. He looked up. Curious. You've been chill about this. Did you see it coming? I gave a faint, mysterious smile. I've learned to plan for anything here. His jaw tightened, but his phone buzzed. Board time. Gotta prep, he muttered. Good luck, I said, heading out. The board loves details. His stare followed me, tinged with doubt. Perfect. At my desk, Elena texted, conference room, A130. Executive entrance. I spent 2 hours tidying files and leaving Sophie Gold standard notes busywork to anyone watching. At 1:25, I grabbed my portfolio, hit the restroom as a decoy, then slipped to the top floor executive suite. I'd never used that private boardroom door in 10 years. Today I would. Elena waited in the hall, her stern face softening. Ready to shake things up? I inhaled deeply. As I'll ever be. Showtime, she said, glancing at her watch. Thomas comes in the main door at 2. Let's be ready. We stepped into the boardroom. A mahogany fortress of power, framed by skyline views. 10 board members mingled by 1:45, and Elena nudged me toward a seat on her right. Nerves flickered, then faded as Edward Pierce, the 70-year-old chairman, shook my hand. Ms. Harper, thrilled to have you with us. Elena's raved about your ops savvy. Thank you, Mr. Pierce, I said, steady. Honored to be here. Introductions rolled, most knew me from projects. But now I was their equal. At 2 sharp, Robert strode in, all swagger, dropping reports at each seat. Then he saw me. His face flickered, confusion, shock, panic. Lena? What are you doing here? His voice pitched up. Elena rose, seizing the room. Let's start. Sit, Robert. He sank down, eyes darting. We've been realigning Carver for the future, she began. After deep review, we've tapped someone with unmatched know-how and vision for Chief Operations Officer. I'm proud to say Lena Harper's stepping into that role, effective now. Applause erupted. Robert went pale. I didn't know about this, he stammered. Finalized 3 weeks ago, Elena said coolly. Need to know. Edward leaned in. Unanimous vote. Lena's first job, audit every department for efficiency. I spoke up calm but firm. Excited to collaborate with all heads to streamline ops. Everyone's got value. Sometimes it's just about the right fit. Robert caught the hint. His kingdom was mine to judge now. Let's move to reports, Elena said. Robert, you're up. He stood, shaky, fumbling his slides. The cocky guy who'd axed me was gone, replaced by someone scrambling to keep up. Before you start, I cut in softly, let's talk your staffing shakeup. We should rethink some choices. The room went dead quiet. Robert swallowed. Maybe after? No, I said neutral. It ties to your projections. You're swapping me for a grad with zero experience. Pinecrest's at a critical stage, 20% of our revenue. That's a risk we can't take. Edward scowled. This true, Robert? I thought fresh eyes would help, he mumbled, papers trembling. Sure, I said. But I've tapped Maria Ruiz for it, 15 years in. Knows Pinecrest cold. Thoughts, Elena? Smart pick, she nodded. I'm in. Robert's defeat was plain. He slogged through his report, stumbling under sharp board questions. As the meeting rolled on, I asked savvy questions, showing I knew Carver inside out. By the end, members deferred to me. Power had shifted. Elena dropped a final bomb. We're auditing age diversity. Data shows mixed-age teams innovate best. Lena's leading that push. I met Robert's gaze. Experience and new blood both matter when they're balanced right. Post-meeting, he approached, stiff. Congrats. Had I known, you'd have played it differently? I finished. I get it. He shifted. About Sophie, she's green. Junior program might suit her better. Agreed, I said. I'll talk to her tomorrow, set her up right. Elena cut in. Lena, dinner at Bayside, 7 p.m. with the execs. You in? Wouldn't miss it, I said, gathering my things. As Robert slunk off, she murmured, he'll adapt or fade. Choices catch up. Always do, I replied. Leaving via the executive door felt right. Sunset painting the bay, my decade at Carver finally paying off. Just not how Robert had planned. Friday's company-wide meeting buzzed with hype. Backstage with Elena, I wore a navy suit that screamed authority but felt like me. Nervous? She asked. No. I grinned. Feels like home. At 9 a.m., she took the stage, laying out Carver's bold future. Then, meet our new COO, Lena Harper. The crowd roared, engineers I'd fought beside. Staff I'd respected, all cheering. Robert clapped robotically, face blank. Thank you, I said as it died down. 10 years here taught me problem solving. Now I'm here to build our future together. I pitched ops excellence, nodding at Robert. Experience and fresh ideas, that's our edge. After Sophie found me unsure. My role's fuzzy now. Let's chat in my office 1 hour, I said. You've got potential. Just not where Robert stuck you. Miguel flashed a grin and thumbs up from afar. Maybe he'd guessed. My COO gig kicked off smooth new corner office, Bay Bridge views. My trusty Jade plant tagging along. I hit the ground running. Meeting heads, digging into projects, breaking down silos. I stayed visible, chatting with everyone. It wasn't just leadership, it was a statement. Robert kept it curt in our first sit-down. All numbers, no eye contact. I stayed pro, no gloating. Friday, Elena swung by with coffee. 1 weekend, how's it feel? Challenging. Perfect, I said. Board's impressed, she grinned. Edward loves your questions. Years of what-ifs paid off, I laughed. Oh, she added. Robert's pushing for Seattle. Family reasons. Running. I smirked. Obviously. Your call. Approve it, I said. Fresh starts can work wonders. She toasted me with her cup. Spoken like a boss.